viewers, I am Sonali Ghosh and you are watching Indian Masterminds. Our guest this time is Dr. Sonali Ghosh, the first woman field director of Kaziranga National Park in Assam. We are going to speak to her about this milestone in her Indian Forest Service journey. Welcome to Indian Masterminds. So how does
Thank you, Sonali.
so how does it feel to be the first woman field director of Kaziranga?
Thank you, Sonali. It is an honor and pride for me to serve in Kaziranga, the famed national park and World Heritage Site. And I started my career as a trainee, as a probationer in Kaziranga in 2002. So it's kind of homecoming for me. And indeed, the Kaziranga model of conservation is globally known. So I'm honored to be part of it.
Immediately after your appointment, your name and even photographs were splashed across newspapers and news channels. So, has this put more pressure on you to perform?
Yes, I think I'm overwhelmed. I'm much humbled by the support and the trust that the government and the people have put in me. And as women, anyway, we need to, kind of put in more efforts in terms of breaking the glass ceiling. So yes, it has put in a bit of a pressure on me, but at the same time, I'm conscious that there are things that I can do, and there are things that will be a work in progress. So I hope to, live up to the expectations.
It's not really easy to know that all eyes are on you, that people are watching you. So, how do you cope with this?
Yes, I think it is not easy at all. And what I have learned over the last 20-25 years is that we are in public service. So, as forest officers, as bureaucrats, we need to have this constant dialogue with people, be it the community, be it the civil society, be it even our own, forest frontline. And I think as women, we have this natural, inherent trait in us to be communicators and effective listeners. So this is what I'm doing. I'm listening more. I'm imbibing more of the ideas. I'm trying to understand the landscape and take everybody together in our decision making.
Right. So, what was the first thing that you do immediately after moving to Kaziranga?
So I joined on the 1st of September in Kaziranga. That was the time when the flood waters were receding. We were expecting one more wave of flood, which did happen. And so our key concern was the safety of the animals, because as you're aware that the Kaziranga landscape is not just the Brahmaputra floodplain, but it moves into the Karbi Anglong Hills as well, where the animals naturally migrate. So for me, the first priority was to ensure that we are doing the right measures in terms of providing safe passage to the animals who move because of floods. The second was, of course, the welfare of our own staff, because as you know that we have around 200 odd anti-poaching camps across the spread over the Tiger Reserve, and these camps are manned by people who live there 24/7 and with no road connectivity, with so there is important that we take care of them in terms
So,
of
do
their
these
ration
camps
supplies.
also get flooded?
Yes, they get flooded. So most of them are, the Changor style Detuami we call in Assamese, which is basically, construction on stilts. So
Right.
so most of our camps are constructed that way. So while they can, live in them, but at the same time, we would need to, ensure that they have connectivity through for rations and for other their requirements. Yeah. So every camp has country boats, and the staff are able to use them for their patrolling. We also have specialized, like we have mechanized boats and which are for exclusively for patrolling in the islands which we call as sapuris of the Brahmaputra.
Right. When we spoke on the phone last time, you had said that you would prioritize women involvement in the park. So, how do you propose to do that?
Yes, so for me, it is important that we get the women also in the mainstream, because this is it is well established that it is basically, if you look at the communities around the protected area, it is the women who bear the brunt of either it is climate change or of a livelihood support or anything, which requires a sort of which is for survival. So I would be very keen to do that, and so we are trying to promote the eco development committees, which is mandated as part of our management. And here we would like to take up work with women communities, women self-help groups. We opened the park on 15th of October, and we have now two eco development committees which are run by the women to set up, sort of refreshment stalls in our main center at the entry gate. So we hope that with their, involvement, we can not just sensitize the tourists who visit, but they are also able to support and have an additional revenue generation and an income from their sales.
Right. As Kaziranga reopens for the tourist season, you seem to have added many new features to the list of activities. Can you brief us on them?
Yes. So, in fact, Kaziranga, as in our general perception, we think of rhino tourism and Kohora and Baguri ranges. And because of that, what has happened is that over the years, there is a lot of tourism pressure on these core ranges. We would like to diffuse the tourism pressure in all the ranges and also take up activities which are beyond the wildlife tourism. And that is where we have introduced a few new aspects. We have introduced a cycling track, which is more of a rural tourism along the Karbi Anglong Hills. And we are doing this with the Eco Development Committee. The concept of the cycling is to have a healthy living and to experience the rural countryside. We have also initiated river tourism at the Tezpur on the north bank, because we have the beautiful Gangetic dolphin sighting along the bridge. So we would like the people to experience that. We have also initiated trekking and bird watching trails, especially at the edge of our forest and the tea gardens, because there are several other species like the hulok gibbon, the capped langur, the migratory birds, which are equally fascinating, and we would want the people to enjoy their sighting as well.
Do you also plan to incorporate tea tourism? Because Kaziranga has a lot of tea gardens, tea estates surrounding it.
Absolutely, you're very right. And tea tourism is another key aspect. Agro-tourism, where we would like to combine it with the people, because, since you are from Assam, you know that the Assamese households are beautiful in terms of having buddies,
Right.
so there is a pond in the front, and then you have the beautiful bari concept of homestead gardens. So we would like to promote that. We would like to work with the eco development committees to take it up. And as soon as, I mean, and as the weather gets better, our road connectivity gets better, and Bura Pahad, Agora Tuli ranges become open, we would like to take up. Another hidden gem of the Kaziranga landscape is Bura Sapuri Laukua sanctuaries in Nagaon. And they are famous for their freshwater mangroves, the hijol tree, which very few people know of, and also the bee eater colonies. So these are some of the aspects that we would like to take up.
What about the tribal villages around the sanctuary? I mean, there are a lot of tribal people living there. So have you thought about, involving them also, maybe, taking them, people, tourists to their villages and giving them a feel of tribal life?
Absolutely. So, there are multitude of tribals living around the protected area, and some of them have become kind of, very popular. For example, the Notundanga Soranahem, there is a beautiful Karbi restaurant which is open 24, all months of the year. And before the park was opened, any groups like the educational trips or big groups that were coming, we were suggesting to them to take up their food in the restaurant. We were also telling them to take up homestays in the tribal areas.
There are
So
many
those are some of the.
there are many missing villages there of the missing community in and around.
Yes. So missing, in fact, we know that missing are excellent in terms of their handloom. So most of our products, I mean, and we have also consciously, even in our official workshops, in our conferences, we tend to promote the missing handloom, and we buy products, we promote their products in terms of the textile and the beautiful colors that they use.
Great. So enough of Kaziranga. Now tell us what made you choose Indian Forest Service as a career.
It is say that luck by chance, as they say. I grew up in Dehradun, which is, which is called the Mecca of Forestry. We have the Forest Research Institute. We have the the National Forest Academy. Not very far is the Mussoorie Administration Academy. So I was influenced by the fact that, that forestry could be a good career option. And of course, my own post graduation and master's in wildlife science was another reason that I was more familiar with what kind of work that it entailed, and I chose to work from within the system, and I decided to give it a try.
You are a Bengali from Uttarakhand. So tell us about your family.
Yes, so I mean, it is I would say that I'm one of those third generation people who have lived all over the country, and thanks to my father's job with the army. And while we did, speak Bangla at home, and that helped me because, Assamese is very similar to Bengali in terms of the script and in terms of pronunciation. But I think I picked up other languages as well. I can understand Marathi. I speak Hindi fluently. And so it was one of those, experiences of living and traveling across the country that helped me also get a love for the outdoors. I have been, my mother, of course, stays in Uttarakhand, and my husband works in Delhi, and I have a daughter who is, is 12 years old, and I'm looking forward to welcome her here when her school vacation is there. Yes.
Right. So, any future plans other than this upcoming marathon, which you mentioned? Would you like to tell our viewers about it?
Yes, so we would like to have a tourism calendar. We would like, with your support, with this channel's support, we would like to suggest few annual activities that we can take forward. And one of them, of course, as I said, is the Run for Rhino Marathon, which we are thinking of and planning. And we hope to have a great participation in that in December. We are also thinking of literary festivals, around nature writing and workshops, and this we would like to take up in the coming year. But these are plans, and this is what we will keep you all posted.
Okay, my last question to you is: what do you love to do in your free time?
If I get free time, I think these days my hobby is to read. I'm very fascinated by the history of Kaziranga landscape, and I am trying to understand what shaped the protected area in the last 117 years. And thankfully, Kaziranga landscape has beautiful, people and places with whom I can interact with. We recently did a literary workshop of poetry in Assamese and in vernacular language with the local college during the Wildlife Week. So I'm trying to understand this more and, get connected to people who are into nature writing.
All right, thank you so much. We wish you all the best. So that was Dr. Sonali Ghosh, the first woman field director of Kaziranga, telling us about her plans for this national park in Assam. Hope you enjoyed getting to know her well as much as we did. Keep watching Indian Masterminds for more such interesting encounters.